Article 50 of Treaty of Lisbon has now been triggered, making Brexit an irreversible process. How do you think this will impact Britain-India ties, especially with regard to the trade, immigration and education?
Well, firstly, let's go back to Article 50 without going into too much detail. We've invoked Article 50 and now it's the beginning of a process, not the end of a process. And we simply do not know what the outcome is going to be. Will it be a soft Brexit, a hard Brexit? Will there be an agreement or no agreement at all? And if you speak to experts in Britain and speak to experts here in India, nobody really quite knows where we're going to be in 1 year's time or 2 years' time. What we do know is that Brexit is Brexit. The question is that nobody quite knows what Brexit will mean. Now, overall, it is clear, however, that part of the strategy of this government now, because of the referendum, is that even though Europe will remain important, like the United States will remain important, clearly for the UK, there's going to be a great drive into what you might call the new big emerging markets. And India is one of those new big emerging markets. So one would hope that even though I think there are going to be real problems in the Brexit negotiations, and everybody recognises that, for UK and Europe, nonetheless it could mean opportunity for India, it seems to me, on all the fronts you've talked about, diplomatic, economic, and also educational. And on the educational front, very simply, we have very strong ties anyway. I mean, not just through the London School of Economics and the University of London, but through language. You know, we talk the same. I wouldn't say we think the same, because we have different cultural histories and different histories to do with the British Empire. But nonetheless, I do think there are ties here between the UK and India, which really lay the foundation for, I think, a quite positive future, a very positive future. And maybe a more positive future than we've had in the past in some ways. So one of the upsides, what I call one of the silver linings in the cloud, which is Brexit, in my opinion, with all due respect, is I think one of the upsides of this is going to be a strengthened India-British relationship at the educational level in particular. And I think that's going to be a really important thrust of both government policy and by individual educational institutions in the UK, especially the London School of Economics.